not surprising that I think culture is the most important factor in the success of an organization. It's a pretty broad concept though, and one that's rooted in soft analysis, when it's analysed at all. So how do you know when your culture is really effective? What does it actually mean to say you have a good culture? And what metrics can give you a clear health check on your culture? Well, traditionally used measures like employee happiness or engagement, to be honest, aren't very useful. They're too easily influenced by temporary factors like a one-off event or a difficult week. And according to Harvard Business Review research, they really don't always correlate with long-term performance. Asking your team how likely they are to recommend people to the company doesn't work that well either. It's too abstract and ill-defined. Ultimately, culture is about effectiveness. If the culture you create doesn't help you deliver your company's mission and goals, well then it doesn't matter how happy everyone in the business is. To really understand how well your culture is working, there are some new metrics you should be focusing on. Firstly, consistency of achieving strategic objectives, both at the company level and individually. And this is really the ultimate metric. How regularly do you hit your company's goals, and how regularly do people in the team hit their personal ones? Start your review of cultural effectiveness here. Then look at staff retention rates. As long as you're consistently hiring the right people, high retention rates should signify a positive culture where employees feel engaged and valued, while high turnover can be an indicator of cultural misalignment. Third, you can gather feedback scores based on consistent value-centered surveys, and creating surveys based on your company's values and tracking the feedback scores you receive will show you how consistently you live those values. Assuming that they're well thought out and that they really represent the organization you're building, this provides a useful barometer for how effective your initiatives are. These surveys should also measure how aligned your company values are with your team's personal values. Then you can look at the frequency of employee referrals that you receive. So employees who refer others rather than just saying that they will are advocating for the culture through their actions. A high volume of referrals implies that employees are proud of the company. In fact, Glassdoor have found that employees at companies with strong cultures are 2.6 times more likely to refer friends to job openings. It's also worth looking at progression and promotion velocity. So by tracking the average time to promotion and the completion rate of IDP or individual development plan activities, you'll see how rapidly employees are learning new skills and taking on more responsibilities, which are core aspects of a healthy culture. It's also important to look at psychological safety. So through the work of Daniel Coyle, the author of The Culture Code, and research conducted by Google, psychological safety has emerged as the leading predictor of team performance. Including questions in your survey like, I feel safe to take risks at work and I can raise problems without a fear of backlash, will show you the level of psychological safety your team currently feel. On to number 7, which is a DE&I analysis. Diverse teams perform better, make better decisions, and are more innovative. Measure the level of diversity in your business today, and then start trying to improve it. It's also worth assessing the manager-employee trust scores in your business. The relationship between the people in your business and their managers is one of the most important influences on how they feel about the organization. Trust is the cornerstone element of that relationship. This can be measured through 360-degree feedback or anonymous surveys, and it'll tell you how your line management group is performing. And then finally, you'll want to look at resilience and adaptability. We operate in an industry and a world where resilience and adaptability are essential qualities. The speed of change in the world today is higher than ever, and when market conditions are challenging, companies that handle setbacks well and make quick decisions are the ones that thrive. There are several models for measuring resilience and adaptability, usually including factors like the speed of decision-making, ability to pivot when needed, and employee sentiment during periods of change. Now, this might seem like a lot to measure, but these metrics don't have to be looked at separately. They can be combined largely in quarterly, biannual, or annual surveys, or run behind the scenes to minimize employee involvement. And if you look at them in concert with each other, they'll give you a really detailed health check on your company's culture. If you then measure them consistently and regularly, you'll be able to see the impact of your initiatives to improve culture too.